A very good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the UBC Lunchtime News this 12th day of May 2024. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold and we're going to be having this bulletin for an hour long, so please do sit tight as we read you the news. In our first story, as the National Population and Housing Census 2024 kicked off, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and the First Lady this week, Janet Museveni, spared some time to answer census questions at their household. The Executive Director, also National Census Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics, Dr. Chris Ndatira Mukiza, oversaw the enumeration exercise at State House Lodge, Nakasero. Speaking after the enumeration exercise, the President congratulated Dr. Mukiza and his team for what he termed as a comprehensive exercise, stating that the questions being asked are very comprehensive and detailed.
The respondent was very cooperative, gave us all answers to the questions we put before them, and we are very happy that you have concluded the exercise successfully.
Now, the other issue I raised with them was the issue of finding out Ugandans who have got shares in companies. Otherwise, the whole thing is very comprehensive. That's why I've spent almost like 2 hours here. So I congratulate Dr. Mukiza and his team. I think if this is what they are doing everywhere, then things are moving. And all of you cooperate with them. I hear there are some groups who say they don't want to be enumerated. Stop that, because you are when I'm going to say okuchumbagiza, you make us you interfere with our work, because this information would be used for planning to get solutions to your problems, social, economic, health, medical, because they were even asking medical questions about eyesight, about hearing, about very useful. So I thank the team. Thank you so much, and I hope you will all cooperate with them.
The State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, has said that the National Population and Housing Census is beneficial to the country as it facilitates national planning and development. He explained that census and land are interrelated and therefore need to be taken seriously.
Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, has stressed the benefits accruing from the National Population and Housing Census to national development.
You can't plan without knowing the very ingredients for which you're planning. That's the people, and the people is the population. You must know how much of your population live in the cities, and therefore you know how to plan for the cities. How much of your population live in the rural areas, and therefore how to plan for those in the rural areas. Now, how much of your population is going to be in P7 7 years from now? Therefore, you must know how many kids are being, how many 1-year-olds you have now, say 5 million. Therefore, the infrastructure now, which is going to have that extra load of 5 million 7 years from now, the classrooms, the teachers, and other facilities. Now you must plan for that.
Mayanja says the Lands Ministry needs to know the number of people in order to plan for them.
The very essence of our existence. If you want to plan agriculture, you need that land. But also you need that part of land which can produce a certain item. There's land soils which support grazing. There you plan for it, that in this area of Uganda, it's a cattle corridor, so we must plan it for grazing. And certain facilities must go there. On land, you must know that this area is for urban development, piece of Uganda. So as Minister of Lands, it is essential that we know the people.
He explained that the government, through the Ministry of Lands, can resolve problems and challenges by understanding the numerical strength of the population.
Now we are looking at health insurance. What population is going to be covered by that health insurance? What contributions the government is going to put in? And now, these who are in the rural areas now, are they going to migrate? Do you want them to migrate? If you don't want, you must, what facilities are you going to plan for them so that they stay developing the villages instead of coming back? So those are all essential.
Meanwhile, Uganda's ambassador to Sudan and Morocco, Dr. Rashid Yahya Semudu, has appealed to Ugandans to embrace the national population census exercise, for it is useful in the national planning.
We keep encouraging our people to cooperate in big numbers because we want to help our government to reach the target of which this exercise was put for.
He pointed that census officials spend a lot of time asking many questions to the family members, which is rather tedious.
Because of the so many questions, and some of them, I believe that they are repeated, because when it comes to the head of the family and you notice that some questions have been repeated, that is what consumes too much time.
Meanwhile, enumerators from Bwerenga in Wakiso district are ready to work after their equipment was rectified.
They have technical problems and maybe some other two have not turned up. I am soon compiling a report to my bosses so that they can get other enumerators so that we cover this area in a specified time that we have been given.
Jamil Sekaja with Benon Mukwaya for UBC.
The Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Mubaje, has advised Busia Muslim community to embrace the census exercise and parish development model for socio-economic development. Mubaje says that the Muslim community has carried out sufficient research and is satisfied that PDM money is meant for development, and urged the entire public to embrace the program.
Of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Mubaje has rallied the Muslim community to embrace the ongoing national population and housing census exercise so that government can attain data for proper planning for her people.
Census for the benefit of everybody. It helps the government to plan for the people it leads. So everybody, every Muslim, every Ugandan should make sure that he is counted so as to enable the government to serve us better.
The Mufti made this call while commissioning a mosque donated by the Turkish government under their charitable organization Muyara at Nangwe North Village, Nangwe Parish, Daban Sub-County in Busia District. The mosque construction is expected to cost 650 million shillings, and this will have a borehole and a pit latrine. Busia RDC Michael Chiwika and his deputy thanked the Muslim community for promoting spiritual unity.
Interfaith collaborative efforts Omuslim ni Anglican n'abalokole n'abakatoliki biza kwongera okunyweza oluganda era mu maiso ga Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kituukirizibwe nti we are all equal before him.
The director, Trust Senior School, Wabwire Nassan, donated the land on which the mosque sits. Nassan Wabwire says that the largest enrollment of students in his school is Muslim students, and so it was only proper that he surrenders part of the land for the construction of a mosque.
I want to take this opportunity to thank our brothers from Yasiri Muslim Welfare Foundation, through our development partners from Turkey, who listened to our passionate appeals and decided to extend a helping hand.
The Mufti was accompanied by the regional Kadhi, Busia District, Juma Obadio, Busia District Police Commander, and the district CID, among others.
Kampala Archdiocese is to hold a social communication symposium held ahead of this year's World Social Communications Day, which is slated for 12th of May 2024. The development has been announced by the Kampala Archbishop, His Grace Paul Semogedede.
I don't know whether they are campaigning or they are mobilizing or they are consulting. So whatever decision that is made in those meetings cannot bind the party.
The disagreements over illegal money hit the Forum for Democratic Change Party late 2023. Since then, the battle moved from verbal attacks to a near split. The Kizza Besigye-led Katonga camp resolved that Kampala Road Mayor Erias Lukwago acts as the party president, splitting from the Najja Nankumbi FDC leadership.
I don't know, maybe they call it actually that they are in refugee.
The FDC Katonga camp, through 5 resolutions passed in a senior meeting, decided to carry out public consultations. The resolutions being preached include reconciliation, starting new political party, starting a pressure group, cropping up with an existing opposition group, and joining what they call the genuine opposition party.
We have presented those resolutions and decisions have been made. Almost everywhere we have been, the dominant view is that we need to start a new political party and forget about the FDC.
The consultations, being spearheaded by the former 4 times presidential candidate Dr. Kizza Besigye, have raised mixed reactions onto why the public needs to trust the leaders with the new party.
It is not our decision. This decision is not made at Katonga. It's a decision that they will make themselves. They should be the ones you should ask. If they want to form a new party, you should go and ask them, why do you want to form a new party? This party is not formed by Besigye, Salam Musumba, Semuju Lukwago and Birigwa. It will be a decision by the FDC leaders, and then they will be the ones you should ask to answer.
You, as the senior leader in the political environment in Uganda, is forming a new party the right solution?
When you are struggling, you will allow people to make formations that give them comfort.
Mawokota South MP Yusuf Nsibambi is worried that the formation of the new party will instead politically fail the reputation of the leaders, citing examples of some of the past FDC leaders.
But if they want to form a party, I think that is even dangerous for them. It's bad for our party, it's counterproductive. We will not like to see again another problem like we had in Anti. We lost good leaders and we also lost members of parliament as a result. So we don't want here to have again another loss arising out of petty quarrels.
The spirit of the desire for a new political party is among the concerns which the existing opposition political parties have since left to the electorate.
In 1980, parties that participated in elections included UPC, DP, UPM and CP. So parties are not formed to remove Museveni. Because even after Museveni's departure, even when all of us are dead, there will be parties.
When asked why it is Dr. Besigye leading the consultations, the leaders responded this way.
We have gone to meetings. It is you media who have decided to profile it that way.
So it is the media?
We do not stand anywhere and tell you that this is about Besigye. But when you see Besigye, you think it is about him, and that's your decision.
I've worked with Dr. Besigye as a person. He's genuine, he's focused. His only problem that this time around, he missed the point. I think he does not believe in elective politics, like we all don't believe in it. But you need a vehicle to pass on the message and communicate. So he does not believe in parties. And that becomes now the individual carrying the mantle. And I don't think it should really be him as an individual to carry the mantle. It must be collective action.
Kira Municipality MP Ibrahim Semujunganda says the disagreements over allegations of the illegal money have reached an irreconcilable stage. MP Sibambi neither disagrees with Semuju. Sibambi, however, says the consultations by the Katonga camp are benefiting the entire FDC party, describing the campaign as a mobilization strategy for the party.
They are misinformed, they may be bitter, They have personal and selfish interests. Some of them are maybe self-seekers. So these are issues we can internally talk about. That's why we left their so-called consultation process to go on. Would have engaged the Electoral Commission or the police to stop whatever is going on.
Okay.
But since these people are mobilizing for FDC, we thought maybe it's not necessary.
Sibambi calls for a national dialogue to end such disagreements and front the aspect of patriotism. According to MP Ssemujju Uganda, despite the urge for new political parties, these arguments seem to be unending.
So this is not the first time that the FDC is disagreeing or the FDC is facing elections. But when you don't subject and subordinate the disagreement to the constitution, then it means you no longer have a party.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Well, we do apologize. That was a story where our reporter delves into the separating of FDC blocks and different measures they are taking towards the campaign and election period. Now, Kampala Archdiocese is to hold a social communication symposium ahead of this year's World Social Communications Day, which is slated for the 12th of May 2024. This development has been announced by the Kampala Archbishop, His Grace Paul Semogedede.
So according to the Pope Francis, the use of the term intelligence is quite misleading.
The Catholic community will be commemorating this year's World Social Communication Day on Sunday, 12th May 2024. However, before the Sunday celebrations, Kampala Archdiocese has organized the Social Communication Symposium.
Artificial intelligence is the ability of a computer or computer-controlled robot to perform tasks that are commonly associated with intellectual processes, characteristic of humans, such as the ability to reason like human mind.
This year's celebrations will be hosted in Gayaza with the theme Zeroing on Artificial Intelligence, where members of the general public are being inducted to its importance.
Catholic Church's view on artificial intelligence reflects both the potential benefits and ethical challenges this technology presents.
It facilitates digital assistance where humanity is inappropriate. Artificial intelligence aids humans in resolving the majority of challenging issues. Artificial intelligence facilitates us unbiased decisions. It eliminates repetition of tasks. It aids daily applications in internet.
For the Church also consider artificial intelligence as a bigger breakthrough in environmental protection. However, with positive attributes to artificial intelligence, there are some darker spots.
It bars humanity from creativity of human mind and thus making us idle. Unemployment, of course. Robots do most of the work. You can cover a square mile and give that work in very few minutes, which would have been covered by so many people and get employed.
And this is now why Kampala Archdiocese is stepping in to celebrate and deliberate on issues regarding social communication.
This year, Pope Francis devotes the message for the World Social Communications Day towards the development of systems of artificial intelligence which are radically affecting the world of information and communication, and through it, certain foundations of life in society.
The Commissioner of Secondary Education, Ministry of Education and Sports, Juliet Muzora Atohaire, has asked Ugandans in civil service to always accept changes in their respective workplaces in order for smooth transitions and continuity. The Commissioner of Secondary Education, Ministry of Education, has made this call at the handover ceremony for Dr. Canon Charles Kahigiriza, held at Ndeje Senior Secondary School.
Is a school of joy and pride. I find my joy
and strive to advance academic excellence, God being my helper. I look forward to a good and productive working relationship with you all. I remain Senko David Balaba, now I'm a head teacher. The senior secondary school. Now, we improved accommodation for staff. We have been renovating staff houses. We have built some new staff houses to accommodate our teachers in comfortable spaces. 6, human resource development. We have in human resource development, we have not only looked at our students, but we have also looked at the staff. Because when we also increased the staff from 80 to 125. So when you increase the staff, you also increase the talent.
I want to thank Dr. Kahigina, the outgoing headmaster, for a good work done. We've had testimonies from all over that he has done very well. And in his short, long speech, he has really elaborated what he has done, how he has performed, and thank you very much for a job well done.
We pray that you will be a bridge that will cement this transition. In service, we know the game that these children play of building blocks. We add on the block and brick that was already put. Please cement that so that Ndeje is grown from this better level of glory that you have handed it over to Mr. Senkungu to the best level of glory.
Spirit, amen. Amen.
Patrick Andrew Chizito, a motivational speaker from Scripture Union Uganda, has called upon Ugandan absentee fathers to turn around, go back to their respective families to fulfill their role and obligations as fathers. Patrick Andrew Chizito is also a family coordinator with the Scripture Union Ministry. Has also made the call while lecturing Luero SS parents on the ventures and values of raising a strong family that can survive the ravages of modern 21st century life at Luero SS grounds, where they gathered to collect the end of Term 1 reports for their children.
Tunaweza kukoramu twale tunokubalinda ekyo oyagala okukkiriza exhausted
agenda kubanga alowooza ng'ow'emyaka 19 ng'afiiriddwa emyaka 11 nga yagifiirwa ali ku screen anyiga asereza era kati holiday etuuse bigenda kubeera ku TV ku kompyuta ku masimu balabe TV paka langi we banaagimalamu naye ng'otunula olaba bali ku katuuni bali ku Nickelodeon balaba firimu katandika butandisi balaba firimu eziri bulu.
People working and sailing using various landing sites including Nachiwogo and Gaba are increasingly worried about the rising water levels of Lake Victoria, which has caused floods in nearby lakeside communities. They say that their activities have been disrupted as a result of the floods to a rise in water levels. Passengers are now being charged $5,000 to be manually carried to the boats.
Lake Victoria water levels continue to rise. Activities at landing sites have been affected. At Nachiwogo landing site in Entebbe, water has filled many buildings and crossing points, making it hard for people to cross and access ferries and boats. According to residents and sailors, many activities have been disrupted because their boats can no longer reach the usual docking points.
Amazzi gatuyisizza bubi
na Kiwogo kubanga ekyo ekizimbe tubadde tukikoleramu wanuna tubadde tukolerawo naye nagaggalawo agamaato gaali gagoberaawo kati abantu twetikka beetikke okubatuusa ku maato.
The challenges that we are facing a little bit are those ones of say people could not easily travel or move towards the ship or to board. Boarding and getting off the ship.
Naye ekintu ky'amazzi kituyisa obubi lwa nsonga tikigootanyiza entambula yaffe era ebiseera ebisinga obungi nti kati tetukyatuukira mu budde.
The rise in water levels is attributed to heavy rains, wetland destruction and poor planning at the landing sites. Residents and travelers now want the Ministry of Works and Transport to help them access ferries and boats.
Ku infrastructures eziri poor, physical planning yeriko obuzibu. Nti mu bulingeri finga physical planning ebadde nnungi nti temuli trenches zitwala amazzi gye galina kugenda. Ekifu nti abantu ffe twalumba ennyanja kati gakoma mu bitundu bye gaali gabeeramu gaali gakole bwe gaali wano we.
The Director National Oil Distributor Sadala Musoke says they have now docking problems due to the flooding at the landing sites.
We can have chance to still continue to operate, but now the water levels have extremely gone high. That is a little challenge. Although for us we can still board people and offload.
Temuko ekiri computers tuba tusobola okumanya nti kati wano waves ziri nyingi nnyo amayengo kwegali wano tegaliiwo ne tumanya kati wano waliwo amayinja wano tewali mayinja so tebasobola kufunamu buzibu bwonna tebeeraliikirira.
Namata Shanez, a ferry official, recommends gumboots for would-be passengers to navigate floods.
Mwejija funako obuzibu tegisobola because eno side endala yo teri so affected n'amazzi bajja kuba bagijjayo bulungi eri gye mulowooza bagiteeka eno side gireme kufuna obuzibu bwonna.
If whoever have got some boats, we normally call them gumboots, if you have them in order to avoid that contact with water, if you are careful, you can bring your gumboots. Then after you come to the ship, your body you can change.
Ferry operators have, however, assured would-be passengers that their vessels were designed to withstand such conditions and the transport fares have not been increased. Joseph Mwingo compiled this report for UBC News.
The National Coalition of Human Rights Defenders have launched an online human rights defender referral network and case management system. The objective of this system is to create a structured system that facilitates the timely referral of human rights defenders to appropriate resources and support services in times of need.
Established in 2016, the coalition has been coordinating a national human rights defenders referral network comprising 8 grassroots sub-regional networks with 35 member organizations each, alongside regional and thematical focal persons providing protection services and coordinating responses to human rights defenders at risk. The aim is to strengthen the human rights defenders referral network system as a collective response to threats against them by reviewing and digitalizing its case management and referral network system.
By harnessing technology, we can enhance our communication and collaboration capabilities and streamline the process of capturing and reporting while also protecting data as do not harm principle and confidentiality must be applied.
Hassan Sich, the Executive Director of Human Rights Defenders Coalition in Uganda, commended the organization for embracing technology but cautioned against potential system manipulation.
As you all know, technology has emerged as an indispensable tool for human rights defenders and civil society, offering my right opportunities to advance our cause. The referral network and the case management system empowers us to analyze cases more effectively.
In light of increasing challenges faced by human rights defenders, the online system addresses the critical need for a robust, accessible and efficient support infrastructure.
Luli mwadomo okuwandika nnyo ng'okozesa empapula nyingi. Ate no kukozesa empapula no bisindika eno kubanga bw'oba olina omulwanyizi w'eddembe ly'omuntu ng'ali Rakai oba bali Kotido oba ali Karamoja okulaba nti ekiwandiiko kye kifutuse ne Kampala kibadde kizibu nnyo nga alina okufuna wa boda kitwale ku baasi nga kitegeeza n'ebyo ebiwandiiko biyinza okubula nga bagezaako bisa naye nno twatongozesa ekintu kye bayita a digitalized system nga kigamba nti oyinza okgenda ku simu yo oba ku kompyuta omusango gwo n'oguteekamu.
Dorothy Esther, working as the Protection Emergency Officer at the National Coalition for Human Rights Defenders, emphasized the timeliness and potential impact of the system in addressing human rights violations.
Must come at a critical time that we are now going to the 2026 general elections. What is it going to help us? We know that human rights defenders working in issues of governance are usually beaten, challenged, including journalists. So these record violations, and when we are presenting reports to Parliament, they come from such systems that show actually this number of people were beaten, this number of electoral or election violence.
This launch marks a significant step towards enhancing support and protection mechanisms for human rights defenders across the nation. Komagum Rogers and Justin Nakame for UBC.
MTN Moment Kutusako Usi live in concert Kujahazi PM Nyonyo Mo hip hop kunarubale Wakanga 18 Mei kubibira ibiwena Ena fefe Usi weekend Kama goma rapo na nyina freestyle Jangola mwana wakulu kutebika munganiga sasa liva muchamba Misana na chironga tuli marapu melele Wakinga mtuale bili Vyebi mtuale tano Emeza ya kakande Emeza vya milioni satu Downloading a MTN Momo app Osaliwe kebijula tano kubili chikumi Kutiketi Woguli kwa MTN Momo Tiketi ya gula mtuale gumo Ade VIP Ebili chitundu Tulina debote cruise Itedwa musente MC MTN Momo Ivo establishment The angry management
Gear up, grab your running shoes and join the race for life. Run 42, 21 or 5 kilometers to equip Kisoro Hospital's very first ICU. Then, after the finish line, groove all night at the ultimate dance showdown with DJs and performers from Uganda and Kigali. Secure your sport at virungamountainmarathon.org and be a part of history. Save the date, June 1st, 2024 at Shaza Ground, Kisoro Town. Race for a cause. Run for life.
Fellow countrymen and women, especially the Bazukuru, as we work towards realizing Uganda's Vision 2040, it is important that we plan based on accurate information about our people and our resources. I therefore would like to announce the 6th National Population and Housing Census that will start on the 10th of May 2024. The information from the National Population and Housing Census will support government, the private sector, cultural and religious institutions, civil society, and development partners in service delivery. It will also provide the basis for planning the provision of social services such as education, health, and transport, among many others, at the national and local levels. When data collectors or enumerators come to your home during the census, please avail yourselves and provide them with honest answers to their questions. This is in order to enable them to process the most accurate information about you, your household, institutions, and community. I therefore call upon all political, cultural, and religious leaders, private sector players, civil society, the media, and the institutions of the government to support this key national program. The successful execution of this census will influence the well-being of all Ugandans and progress the country towards the desired socio-economic transformation. I wish you all a successful census for God and my country.
Welcome back. You're still watching the weekly news roundup edition of the UBC Lunchtime News. Now, in the world of business, the Swedish ambassador to Uganda, Maria Håkansson, embarked on a visit to the Uganda Electricity Generation Company, and this was on a fact-finding mission to evaluate the progress made by the Uganda government in establishing a floating solar power plant at Isimba Hydro Power Dam. I had a chance to interact with some of the stakeholders. The Swedish government, through its development organization, Swedfund, in 2021, allocated a loan of $750,000, equivalent to approximately 2.7 billion Ugandan shillings, to establish a floating solar plant.
The pre-feasibility study indicated that Isimba, the reservoir at Isimba, would be the preferred choice for the pilot at 10 megawatts. So Isimba is going to be the first area.
The initiative is part of a comprehensive agreement between the governments of Sweden and Uganda, with financial backing from Swedfund, Sweden's development finance institution.
We have a bilateral strategy for Uganda. It's perhaps technical, but then we have regional strategies that are managed from our embassy in Addis, and then there are sort of different, but we will bring this into the discussions and see, because it should be interesting not only, of course, for Uganda, but for other countries.
While the feasibility study is underway, the exact power generation potential of this plant is yet to be determined. According to UEGCL, the feasibility study and the launch of a pilot design for the floating solar power project are slated to be completed by June 2024.
We had a presentation 2 weeks ago in France, together with the SWECO, and it is one of the projects that was being presented as a breakthrough innovation in sub-Saharan Africa.
Despite Uganda boasting of uninstalled electricity capacity of over 1,402 megawatts, with demand at 843 megawatts, there remains a pressing need for more electricity. This demand is imperative to fuel the nation's expanding industrialization and achieve total electrification. Wadulo McArnold, UBC News. Now, more in business, Uganda has been named the best investment destination in Africa. This was at the annual World Biggest Platform for Investment, which is an activity held in Abu Dhabi and attracts investors from across the globe. The State Minister for Finance in charge of investment and privatization, Evelyn Anite, represented Uganda at this conference.
Yes, I just want to take this opportunity again to congratulate Uganda Investment Authority, represented here by the chairman, Uganda Investment Authority, Morrison Rakakamba, and the director for investment promotion. I mean, it is your efforts that we have been able to get this. So I am very, very excited because this that you see in my hand is just not a trophy in itself. It is money. It comes with money. And these are billions of dollars that is going to be invested in Uganda. I participated in a round table meeting with investors and ministers from all over the world. And I want to tell you, in that meeting, we got a lot of interest from investors all over the world to come and invest in this. As you all do know, when President Museveni took over power in 1986, he came up with 10-point programs, and point number 5 was that we should build an integrated and self-sustaining economy. Now, That followed with different policies and the establishment of Uganda Investment Authority, which authority was given the mandate to ensure that we actually have a one-stop center to facilitate investors, both domestic investors and foreign investors. So that has yielded us great strides, and it has made us to be able to be the best investment destination and attracting not only Ugandans to come into manufacturing and value addition, but also getting foreigners to come and invest in our land.
I think Uganda has the best taxation code or incentive regime that attracts investors. First of all, when investors come here, they have access to free land. If they invest over $5 million, they have access to a 10-year tax holiday. And that is really big. So that consistency in terms of policy has made sure that most of the things that we used to import are now manufactured here. If you visit any supermarket in this country, over 60% of the fast-moving consumer goods, or all the other products, are manufactured in this country. I can tell you one thing. In 2016, Namanve, which is our premier industrial park, had only 21 factories. As we talk now, we have 440 projects, most of them construction level, others already operational, others at feasibility stage. And I can assure you, in the coming years, we are going to have over, I think, across the country, over 10,000 factories.
Investors from different countries have visited Uganda to assess the potential investment into the bamboo subsector. In 2019, Uganda developed the bamboo strategy and action plan to guide investment in this sector that is still in its infant stages of development. We have a detailed report on this development.
According to International Network for Bamboo and Rattan, INBA, global international trade in bamboo is $60 billion annually, with 10,000 documented products from bamboo. Spearheaded by Ministry of Water and Environment, National Forestry Authority with support from International Network for Bamboo and Rattan, INBA, bamboo growing and trading in Uganda is taking shape, and there is interest from both private investors and government to promote the sector.
This investor basically the main purpose to understand the climatic conditions, that means investment opportunities here in bamboo, and also the enabling environment what is there. Dutch and East Africa Bamboo Development Program of INBAR, they created an enabling environment in terms of policies, in terms of strategy, in terms of market strategy and value chains.
Investors from different countries have visited Uganda to assess the potential investment in the bamboo industry.
And bamboo, as you know, is renewable. So after a few years, the bamboo is back up and we can build more utility poles. If you have a wooden utility pole, you kill a tree and it's gone. Deforestation is not something we want. So we want to use bamboo for distribution of green energy.
There are lots of problems in environment. So bamboo is a good substitute. In India, there is a company, iBamboo. They are making bamboo plastics from the bamboo. So that will be a very good substitute for bamboo using for alternative to the plastics. So the plastic can be reduced and it will help you for the environment development. Even the health of the people is damaged by the use of plastics.
Uganda is domesticating 25 different species of bamboo for industrial purposes.
2 have so far proved to be very, very productive. That is Bambusa vulgaris and Dendrocalamus asper. These are, and then we also have the Giganta bamboo. That is what they call the giant bamboo. So these species are proving to be very successful in the country. So we want to encourage the planting of bamboo as a substitute for firewood, but also for restorations of the environment. You are aware we are planning to restore 375,000 hectares of degraded landscape by using bamboo. And this is part of the Bond Challenge where Uganda committed to restoring 2 million hectares using 2 million hectares of degraded landscape. So we think we want to use 15%, restore 15%, that is 375,000 hectares by use of bamboo.
The bamboo industry has the potential to contribute to inclusive green economy and poverty reduction. Diana Kote, UBC.
The Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board have released the roadmap that will guide the May-June 2024 examinations, with appeal to all heads of training institutions and candidates to adhere to and observe the examinations guidelines.
At least 32,726 candidates from the 294 assessment examination centers are expected to sit for the Uganda Business and Technical Examination Board assessment across the country. The examinations that begin on 13th May to 14th June 2024 will be done by students pursuing higher national diploma in business and humanities, physical and biological sciences, technical and vocational diploma programs. The Executive Secretary, Uganda Business and Technical Examination Board, Onesmus OSJ, says the board registered 118 candidates with special needs and has deployed support staff to assist candidates with special needs.
These will be according to special examination arrangements such as sign language interpreters, transcribers, while others will be accorded extra time, depending on the circumstances. The board has accordingly also deployed 66 support personnel to assist candidates with the special needs.
The board has urged the scouts and supervisors to be vigilant and guard against examinations malpractices.
The board encourages all heads of centers to adhere to immutable rules and regulations on the conduct of examinations. The board encourages all candidates to desist from involvement in any form of examination malpractice. Any form of involvement shall attract severe penalties, and these range from cancellation of all results for entire semester or the term, sometimes imprisonment or caution.
Special arrangements have been made to ensure that the hard-to-reach areas access the examination materials on time.
Then another thing we normally do, we create more routes to those areas. So you find that, for example, in this examination in particular, we have a specific route going to those areas like Moroto. We give it a specific vehicle which goes to that area, like in Karamoja, like in Western Uganda, like areas like Kanungu, Kasese. We give them special vehicles which drive exams specifically to reach there, because we know the roads are not good.
Uganda Business and Technical Examination Board was established in 2008 by the Act of Parliament with the mandate to streamline, regulate, coordinate and conduct business, technical examinations and competence-based assessment, including specialized training and awards. Benon Mokwaya, Clement Wangira for UBC.
Welcome back, and it's now time for sports. The fourth edition of the Silverfin Academy Swim Club Pentathlon Swimming Gala happened on Saturday, 11th May 2024 at the Kampala Parent School in Naguru. Marshal Miro Victor, one of our reporters, has more details.
Take your mark.
This weekend on Saturday 11th May at the Kampala Parent School in Naguru, Silverfin Academy held their fourth pentathlon event, which was a success. This swim meet was a competition for short distance races in the 50 meters freestyle, butterfly, backstroke and breaststroke. Over 400 swimmers from 20 clubs that included the Mako Sharks team from Rwanda participated. Some of the most outstanding performers included 8-year-old Aya Adams, who dominated the girls under 8 age category, as Silverfin Academy's Isaac Cook, Christian Buisho and Kala Mugisha were among winners from their respective age groups. Dolphin Swim Club's Tendo and Pendo Kaumi went head-to-head for the first time in the 17 and over age category when they faced off in the 50-meter butterfly final. Tendo Kaumi won the overall top male award, but congratulated his young brother for putting up a good fight.
I've just finished competing at the Silverfin Pentathlon, and it's been a good experience. I've had some fun. The day started with 50 fly, and I was racing my brother. He joined from the 15-16 age group, and he beat me, which is very interesting for his first race, 17 and over. It was a very fun first race, and I look forward to racing him more at 17 and over. I also performed well in my 53 and my 50 back. I was very close to my personal best, and I look forward to performing like this at nationals as well, and at any other competition that comes later this year.
Uganda will now turn its focus to the most prestigious swim meet on the local scene, the nationals that will happen at the end of June 2024. Mashamiro Victor, UBC News.
Well, we've come to the end of our weekly news roundup edition of the UBC Lunchtime News, but allow us to pass on this message. Beneath the African sky, so vast she carries wisdom of ages past. With grace and strength, she walks her path, nurturing souls with love and laugh. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there watching UBC TV. Thank you for nurturing your children and being present for your families. May God bless you and have a great Sunday afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
I'm Kaylee with the very special weather report. From up there to down here, everything is crazy. If we don't listen to scientists, things are going to be even crazier when I grow up. Let's look at the